Decor with Bashco.
With the Jamaica Observer, take style.
Shop, save, and earn. October 31st and November 1st.
Follow Bashco on all socials at Bashco Jamaica.
Bashco, where style meets savings.
That's right. It's now time for the Morning Watch with the Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint.
Listeners to Love 101 FM are advised that the views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org, and if you're overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, addressing the issue of bullying. And in the second watch, the Utility Customer Service Awards. For our social media question, we ask, share your experience. Have you ever been bullied? And what was the resolution? We're asking you to share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel. And also on WhatsApp, 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
All right, good morning. Today's I quote says, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And this one is from Edmund Burke.
Yeah, good morning, Joka.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. You know, based on that quote, in other words, something must be done about bullying.
Mm-hmm. Something will be done.
Jukal, do you know what it is to experience bullying?
Not at all. Not at all.
Were you a bully, sir?
Not at all.
All right, good. that the same for me, by the way.
Very good, very good.
The first watch after this break.
As a contractor, I never work without a plan.
As an electrician, protection is always a priority.
If you're a small business owner or an independent contractor, there's a plan that gives you protection and coverage. Sagicor Pro Shield. Get up to $1 million critical illness coverage and cover up to 80% of your medical costs for as little as $15,510 every 3 months. Get the protection you need with Sagicor Pro Shield. Call 876-936-7784. Conditions apply.
Done. Triple Breeze Cleaning Power. Each foam lasts longer. Done. Triple Breeze Cleaning Power. You scrub less often. Done. Triple Breeze Cleaning Power.
Find it at a great price in your favorite store or supermarket. Formula with 3 grease cleaning agents versus another dishwashing soap of similar price.
Tune in this Testimony Tuesday Inside Alive 1 to 5 October 7. Tap into the transformative power of God's Word. At 1:45, your brain meets its match with Mentasize. Stick around at 2 o'clock for Prayer Blast, a powerful prayer experience with our Tuesday prayer partner, Minister Dwayne Perry. At 2:15, don't miss the evidence with Pastor Maxine Thompson. And 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit with Pastor Wayne Roach, both from the Living in the Word Seventh-day International Ministries in Kingston, Jamaica, and St. Martin. All this and more will come alive 1 to 5 this Testimony Tuesday with Sarah and the Chirpy One, only on the family station Love 101.
Tell me how you feeling. Everybody feeling alive. Got the spirit feeling alive.
welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, today has been officially designated Anti-Bullying Day. And this comes on the heels of two high schoolers in separate incidents of suspected suicide, both with alleged links to bullying. So what are the issues and implications associated with bullying? And how should they be addressed? Well, to discuss this, we have online Mark Malaba, President of the Jamaica Teachers Association, and Maria Reed Walker, Region 1 President of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. I begin with you, Maria Reed Walker. For the record, what really is bullying and how is it differentiated from the everyday pranks and rough playing among children?
All right. Good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning, Mr. Malabfer, and good morning to your listeners. So it's very important that, as you have asked, we define what bullying is. We want to point out a few key words because bullying itself, it is a source of unwanted aggressive behavior. But we want to highlight that it is repeated, it is intentional, and it causes harm physically, emotionally, or socially. So it's really it's either real or perceived power imbalance, but it must be repeated, intentional, and that it causes harm for it to be labeled as bullying.
So like the pranks that children play on each other, and some children play rougher than others, say things that may hurt and all of that. That comes under bullying?
Well, yes, because it is intended to harm. So we really, as a generation, we need to teach our children how to play and what we consider to be good behaviors that they should be practicing. Once we fail to do that, then the lines will be blurred as to what we want to call behaviors that cause harm. And especially if it is repeated. So a child getting up every day and deciding that they're going to use their brain power to concoct pranks to hurt and humiliate others. We really need to look into that.
So still with you, Maria Reed Walker, if someone enjoys the attention and does not consider being bullied as an issue, is that still bullying? That's still regarded as bullying?
There's an aspect of it that we can regard as bullying because we have to look deeply into each individual case. So if you are enjoying that kind of a humiliating exposure, it begs a lot of questions about how you are cultured. And
there's some other issues there you are saying that need to be addressed. Okay. Mark Malaba, anecdotally, from your perspective or from recent data, how common are acts of bullying in our schools today?
Well, one of the key dynamics of bullying is what I refer to as a power imbalance. That's a very key dynamic. And that's one of the ways that you can differentiate in terms of bullying versus roughhousing. Yeah. So there is a real or a perceived balance of power. So the bully is deemed to be the one that has the power because he has the ability to hurt or cause harm on an individual, or sometimes may be able to get support from individuals to cause hurt or harm to individual. And so that's one of the key dynamics of bullying versus roughhousing. Roughhousing, on the other hand, is where there's not necessarily a power imbalance, but both individuals are going at it against each other. Just literal rough housing going at it against each other. So there's not necessarily a power imbalance in that case.
Mm-hmm.
Bullying is and the data has shown it. Some time ago there was a research that indicated that a significant number of students experience bullying in one form or shape or another. In school, I think it's hovering somewhere around 60% or thereabout.
60%.
Or thereabout. If my memory serves me correctly. In the research where they are saying, hey, we have seen or experienced bullying.
Yes.
And there are different forms of bullying. There's a physical component where, a boy or a girl, physical harm to another student and drives fear in that student. And, even extortion is a form of bullying within our schools.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new, their name calling is a form of bullying. Fat shaming or body shaming is a form of bullying. And there's a new, it is not even emerging, it has emerged, where there's cyberbullying, and cyberbullying takes many forms, where students will send messages, post things, there's this new thing on social, post things on social media, especially IG or X. They create fictitious accounts and they call out people's names and they say derogatory things about other students. Even our student speaks or how he looks. That is an aspect of bullying when you do those things. And these days a lot of what I would call true word on status. On WhatsApp status, it's a phenomenon that is here, where students use their WhatsApp status to say things or forward to another student, calling out a student on their status. So these are some of the things that are there. It does cause psychological trauma, and it's so dynamic that it often causes frictions within the schools. Often causes fights, because one of the dynamics of it is that someone is bullying, let's say, a seventh grader. Seventh grader has a big brother outside of the school or in the school. The brother is going to want to step in. That in and of itself causes friction. That in and of itself.
More conflict. Okay.
Yeah.
Stick a pin right there for us, Matt Balaba. We're up on a break, and when we come back, we're going to look at some of the demographics associated with bullying. We'll be right back.
Goes Fashion Go Decor
with the Jamaica Observer.
Take style out October 31st and November 1st. Get up to 50% off.
New finds, lower prices, big savings
across all Bashko locations. Fashion Go Decor with Bashko.
With the Jamaica Observer. Take style out.
Shop, save, and earn October 31st and November 1st.
Follow Bashko on all socials at Bashko Jamaica.
Bashko, where style meets savings.
Start your day informed, alert, and ahead of the curve. Join us at 6:30 a.m. for the latest breaking news, weather updates, and everything you need to know.
Clear, concise, connected. It's your morning news right here on Love 101 FM, the family station. On Wednesdays, the morning news is brought to you by Burt's Auto Parts. It hurts if you don't check Burt's.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. And this is the first watch. We are seeking to address the issue of bullying on the Anti-Bullying Day in Jamaica. And in so doing, we have online Maria Reed Walker, Region 1 President of the Jamaica Association of Guidance Counselors in Education, and Mark Malava, President of the Jamaica Teachers Association. Before the break, we had a definition of sorts in terms of bullying, a source of unwanted aggressive behavior, repeatedly and often causing harm. And it's about power imbalance, whether physical, financial, psychological, emotional. And there's also cyber bullying. And we learned that about 60% of students perhaps have experienced bullying at some time or the other. Back to both of you, Maria Reed Walker, in terms of the demographics in relation to bullying, especially in terms of gender, age, and social background, how can that help us to understand bullying more?
All right, so typically we have the male gender normally leading the pack in terms of those who are bullied. But we do have instances of the girls taking that on more in recent times. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I don't have any statistics to share because I do believe we need to have more targeted research being done in our context to allow us to fully understand what we are dealing with. In addition to that, I really think that bullying is so ingrained in our culture, it's hard for us to really identify that it is an aspect of bullying that we are experiencing.
Yeah, anecdotally, in terms of age, what have you observed, Maria Reed Walker?
So, in my experience, the manifestations of bullying, it starts pretty early. We have sparse interactions with those at the infant level where we see aspects of it. And of course, from there, you can pick up that there is a modeling component to it. The children are doing what they are seeing at home or in their community, in their immediate surroundings.
Yeah.
And then it progresses through the grade levels. And between grades 4 to 6, we see an increase in the manifestation of those types of behaviors. But for the most part, I think it's at the high school level that we see more of these behaviors being displayed across the education system.
Interesting.
I'm not sure what the statistics is like at the tertiary level, but I know for some of us, we went through grubbing or ragging when we entered university. There is an aspect, a fine line, but there's an aspect of it there as well that we can also look at.
Yes. Mark Malava, I don't know if you'd like to comment on that, but could you also give us an idea of how reported cases of bullying are usually dealt with?
Well, I mean, different schools have different ways of speaking with it. In my experience, as principal, I have always taken a zero tolerance approach to bullying. Especially if it is consistent. So there are. There's suspension. So for me, I take a zero tolerance approach towards it. I will call in the parents, I will speak to the parents, I will refer the matter to the guidance counselor. I will call in the victim's parents as well, that sort of thing. And I have had occasions where individuals have, done this on several occasions, and I have had to call in the parents, for example, and say, hey, you're going to have to relocate the child because of that sort of thing. Unfortunately, and there have been a number of instances where in other institutions that I am aware of, where parents have had to pull their own child from some of those institutions because of the child being bullied in the institutions. And so if your bullying is real, it's not gender specific, because as my colleague guidance counselor said, there has been a significant uptick of females being engaged in.
Any idea what has caused that uptick?
I can't say. It's a part of the socialization process. Boys and girls do go through the same socialization process in their own families, and they are related to in different ways. And sometimes what you're finding is that the bully is sometimes grew up being bullied. As such, they reflect that sort of behavior. For me, it's always important to seek to help the bully, because oftentimes they don't even recognize that they're doing this, the harm that they are causing. They don't.
Yeah. And as the saying goes, hurting people will hurt people. Yeah. Mario Reed Walker, I don't know if you'd like to say more on what I asked Mark Malaba a while ago, but could you also, share with us some of the major challenges that counselors especially face in dealing with bullies, as well as the bullied?
Right. So one of the most obvious challenge from my perspective is that the counselors are overwhelmed. We're not enough. We have so much to do, and in cases of bullying and any other matter that the counselor needs to deal with, we can't take a broad brush approach to it. We have to get the time to dive deep and see what's the best treatment plan, what are the best options to deal with these cases. And with a ratio of 500 students to one guidance counselor, I'm not sure if anybody else has actually pictured what our day is like, what our week can be like. It's really not enough for us to make a dent, for us to say that we are doing something about the issues that we get. Sometimes we are operating like we're triage doctors. It's impossible for us to dive deep into the situation.
Yes.
And so we are awaiting that proper rollout, and I think Mr. Malaba in our previous setting would have mentioned that there needs to be more educational campaigns around it. So we see the cyberbullying campaigns going on. It's in the schools. The students are being made aware of it. But the actual real life, not to downplay the fact that cyberbullying is real, but that face-to-face, in-person kind of interaction, that bullying there. We need more funding. We need more education campaigns surrounding that. And I want to say to my colleague counselors, wherever we can find the time to educate ourselves further on these happenings. So, for example, I know the National College on Educational Leadership, they have a course called Child Friendly Schools. I think it's a really good course because it helps us to frame the whole idea of having a safe space at school that would cater to, targeting any behavior, any activity that tries to make a child feel unsafe. Of course, bullying is a part of that. So if we can do that, in addition to, waiting on the ministry or the government to actually give us that support. I know we have psychologists and other such persons, but we need to strengthen those initiatives. CPFSA has a great program as well, but we need it to be rolled out more. The systems are there; they just need to be built out, and with that, guidance counselors will feel the support. Restorative justice, they have a very good program as well, the Restorative Justice Initiative. So we just really need to build those out. Guidance counselors, we are equipped with the knowledge, but we don't have the support, the hands-on assistance. If we get a psychologist for our school, if it is even that the person is coming in 2 times for the week, that takes a lot off the guidance counselor. The deans of disciplines as well, I know they have their duties, but we need more collaboration. We need more targeted programs.
Yes.
We need to see that kind of a partnership going, where we can pull all these systems together because they are there. We just need to build them out. And of course, we cannot leave out our parents. We need to build that out as well. The system is there. It just needs to be built out. We need the support. We need the funding. We need the educational campaigns going so that we don't feel as if we're pulling things out of a hat because we're dubbed as magicians to fix everything.
Yeah.
Once it lands in our laps, we need the support.
Hearing you loud and clear. Mark Malava, I believe you would have the final word. What do you say, sir, as suggestions or recommendations to those who are victims of bullying?
Yeah.
What do you say to them?
I mean, I will yield to my colleague on that. She has really articulated the solutions very well. But what I will say is this: to a large extent, bullying is underreported. Yeah, to a large extent. So even if one sees the data with respect to 60%, the figure is likely to be higher. In all reality, I also believe, though, that as my colleague said, we need to pull the different arms together to ensure that there is a level of cohesiveness. I also believe that there needs to be a very targeted approach taken with respect to bullying, and I think that needs to be led from central ministry with public education campaign. That sort of thing. I have also gotten unconfirmed reports of bullying taking place on the rural school bus system. That is something that we have to also look into to verify whether or not it is true and to take the necessary steps to correct it.
So, Mr. Malaba, you don't have anything to say to those who are being bullied in schools, the students? Anything you could say to them from a principal perspective?
I'm actually coming to that. From where I sit, I just want to encourage these individuals not to be quiet about it.
Mm-hmm.
They need to speak up. They need to find the authorities. They need to express themselves. They need to go home and tell their parents if they don't believe that they are feeling safe. The parents have to now act responsibly and come to the authorities to speak to the authorities and not to necessarily go into the school to try and confront the bully.
Got to leave it there. There, lady and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Interesting, informative discussion. Have a safe and productive day.
Thank you so much. You too.
Listeners, the Morning Watch will return in just a moment.
Start your journey with a JN Small Business Loan with small business loans as little as $10,000 and up to $4 million. The time by JN Small Business Loan is... Start your journey with a JN Small Business Loan with small business loans as little as $10,000 and up to $4 million. The time by JN Small Business Loan is...
7:30.
Mama work hard, for real. She do the most to send me and my brother go school. So, the dream was always to go to university. Well, I fulfilled 2 dreams with 1 Jane Bank savings plan, I further my education, and I make mama proud.
See so you can make the par, travel far, graduate like a star.
Stop wishing you could. With your Jane Bank savings, you absolutely can. Jane Bank will help you find a way.
It's a 2019 celebration. Start the new year right with our biggest sale ever. From January 7 to 12, get a whopping 20% off all general merchandise and 5% off groceries at all Bashco locations. We know January can be hard, so this is how we can help to make it just a little bit better. There are even bigger discounts across the store, so come see the savings for yourself. January 7 to 12 for our celebration.
Bashco, 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 Bashco gives you more.
Sagicor is spreading the word. Catch it early. Catch it early. Catch it early. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Early detection can save your life. Don't drop the ball. Get screened for breast cancer today. Do your self-examinations regularly and schedule your mammogram. Make sure you're prepared. Get Sagicor Life Critical Illness Insurance. Access up to 25% of your sum insured on early diagnosis of breast cancer. Conditions apply. Catch it early.
Bashco goes fashion gone decor
With the Jamaica Observer
Take Style Out. October 31st and November 1st. Get up to 50% off.
New finds, lower prices, big savings
Across all Bashco locations. Fashion gone decor with Bashco.
With the Jamaica Observer Take Style Out.
Shop, save, and earn. October 31st and November 1st.
Follow Bashco on all socials at Bashco Jamaica.
Bashco, where style meets savings.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are saying and doing. And here we see that there is a $2 million reward for information leading to the arrest of persons responsible for mass shooting in Commodore St. Catherine. Also, opposition spokesperson on national security, Fitz Jackson, appeals to persons with information to assist in those investigations. October 7 is officially designated as National Anti-Bullying Day, and the JFJ backs call for direct constitutional talks between Holness and Golding. On a regional level, Guyana's opposition leader indicted on fraud, money laundering charges in Florida. Those are some of the major stories in the newspapers. Coming up next, we'll share some of the feedback from our social media question. Share your experience. Have you ever been bullied? And what was the resolution? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We'll be right back.
Shake and go, them on the field. Have to increase the tempo. Come out to shake and go. Flavors feel nice, nutrition for your lifestyle. Come out to shake and go. The net we are kick. Schoolboy football season a kick. Come out to shake and go. Try these delicious new flavors today: chocolate, vanilla, peanut, and butter pecan. Come out to shake and go.
We know you're making every dollar work harder, choosing carefully, buying what you need, and making it stretch as far as you can. That's why Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. It's our way of helping you sweeten moments together, share more meals, and take care of the people you love. Make a good move with 20% savings from Grace.
Bashka goes fashion go on decor
With the Jamaica Observer.
Take style out. October 31st and November 1st. Get up to 50% off.
New finds, lower prices, big savings
Across all Bashka locations. Fashion go on decor with Bashko.
With the Jamaica Observer.
Take style out. Shop, save, and earn. October 31st and November 1st.
Follow Bashka on all socials at Bashka Jamaica.
Bashko, where style meets savings.
When we started this company, we were focused on helping people find their way. And when it comes to critical illness and life insurance, we're all about helping people find a way to live more. Like our JN Life Aid that covers your first diagnosis and is there in case of a second occurrence. That's how much we're invested in you living your life. Welcome to the art of living insurance from JN Life.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Jokal for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp friends answered today's question. Share your experience. Have you ever been bullied? And what was the resolution, Jokal?
All right, so we have a response. We have one on YouTube. Christopher Kennedy says, ragging is clear display of bullyism that the victim accepts. It is atrocious that society indulges, especially in dormitories of our academic institutions. Many with much prestige have been complicit. There's also Cherry on Spanish Town says, a girl tried to when I was in high school, telling me who her father was, but I stood my ground and asked her if her father is God with attitude. She never tried it again.
That's it. All right. An interesting method there. Thanks for the response. All right, as we segue into the second watch, in 2023, the Consumer Advisory Committee on Utilities, CACU, launched the Utility Customer Service Distinction Award. This year, they have added another award, Utility Provider of the Year Award, which is reportedly designed to recognize and celebrate excellence, innovation, and customer service in the utility sectors across Jamaica. Well, to tell us more on these initiatives, we are joined by Richard Rowe, a member of the Consumer Advisory Committee on Utilities. Good morning to you, Mr. Rowe.
Sir, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing very well, thank you.
Great. Good to have you with us as we discuss this topic. Now, Mr. Rowe, before we delve into discussion, though, on the award, could you tell us about the roles and responsibilities of your organization, as well as its importance and impact over the years?
Okay. So it was in 2004 that the CACU, that is the Consumer Advisory Committee on Utilities, was established to provide the Office of Utilities Regulation with a forum through which, it can receive consumers' views on broad regulatory issues, as well as their perspective, our perspective really, on issues affecting the relationships between the utility companies and consumers. Now, this forum and point of contact for the OUR in its consideration of utility issues or consumer issues and concerns. The membership is drawn really from consumer groups, the private and business sector, academia, and certainly the Consumer Affairs Commission, by the way, where I work.
Okay.
I am the Director Western Region with the Consumer Affairs Commission. And also, the public gets an opportunity to be a part of this.
So based on what you said a while ago, what's the difference between the Consumer Advisory Committee on Utilities and the OUR?
A big difference here is this is a committee that is set up to support the work of the OUR by providing the, perspectives on different issues and helping to bridge the gap with the relationship between the utility providers and consumers, while the OUR is the regulator for all the utility companies.
Okay. So they carry the legal teeth.
Oh, they do.
Yes. Now, many of us have heard about your Utility Customer Service Distinction Award, launched, I believe, in 2023.
Right.
And recently you reportedly added another award, dubbed the Utility Provider of the Year Award. What's the distinct difference between the two awards?
The big difference here is that one was more targeting the individuals within the utility companies who were delivering the best service possible, and they would have had to be nominated, and and different people could nominate them. And then we would look at the nomination, all the supporting documents, and help us to decide who gets the award. However, the utility provider of the year goes a step further now, where we're looking at the feedback from the entire nation, all those persons who really do business with the utility companies and are able to vote for the utility company that they believe is the best one for the year.
So the Customer Service Distinction Award was more so about individuals within these utility companies?
Absolutely.
And the Utility Provider of the Year is now the company itself?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And what are the requirements, qualifications, things that you look for?
Well, certainly, at this time, we're looking at the vote. It is really the one that comes out with the most votes that will win this award.
There are no particulars in terms of guidance, so they look for, the nature of the service. So, certain parameter and guidelines in making those decisions.
Well, for you to vote and say, this is my utility company of the year, you perhaps would have used the services. Something must have been doing well for you to be saying, I believe this one deserves to win. Of course, the Consumer Affairs Commission, we do get utility complaints, and so we certainly will be looking at what the complaints look like in our database, and we'll be looking at the nature of those complaints and see whether or not the public is getting it right.
Yes.
Because when we talk about the resolution of complaints, how quickly are they resolved by the utility company, and the number of complaints and the nature of them.
Okay.
Then, we can always look to see exactly what is going on and help to determine.
All right, stick up in there, Mr. Rowe. We are up on a break. We want to hear more about these awards on the other end of the break. Soon come back.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets.
The time that Grace could move is
7:45 a.m. And don't forget, the Morning Watch is sponsored by Bashco, the store that gives you more.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. And it's the second watch. We are looking on the Utility Customer Service Awards. And in so doing, we have Richard Rowe, who is a member of the Consumer Advisory Committee on Utilities. Before the break, he gave us an idea, perhaps more than an idea, of what this organization is about, to provide a forum to receive consumers' views, re the utility companies. And he helped us to understand the distinction between Utility Customer Service Distinction Award and the Utility Provider of the Year Award. The first deals with the personnel, and the Utility Provider of the Year deals with the organization, the utility company itself. Still with us, Mr. Rowe?
I am still here.
All right. Now, what are the issues that normally arise in terms of these complaints and the nature of the complaints from the consumers, without even naming the utility companies themselves?
A major one has to do with billing. You would be paying a certain amount each month, and 1 month it moves, it triples, it fourples it, and it goes out the roof. And then after you might have lodged the complaint, it comes right back to where it was before. So you get a spike and then it comes back, and so the idea is, what has caused this? Did I do something different in terms of my consumption this month? There are other issues that have to do with connectivity and the number of times during a month that I am not connected.
Yes.
I'm expected to pay this set amount, you know?
Yes. As you mentioned that, Mr. Rowe,
yes.
If you have does cable come under this? Cable companies?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're with a cable company and you have pretty much signed up for a certain package, and it has certain channels on it, but in the process, one of the channels or two or three are no longer there. They have been removed. You're expected to pay the same amount for less. How is that addressed?
Interestingly, you would know that it's a part of the contract that you sign, or that the utility company will make that disclaimer to say that we are getting this cable from another provider. Sometimes things change, things are removed, and they don't have any much control over that. And therefore, they have made that disclaimer in that contract that you would have signed as the customer.
So you just have to live with that. You have no recourse legally.
Well,
based on that disclaimer.
The truth be told, when we see a trend, we have to look at it. And once those complaints are made, it has to be addressed. And so it's not just a matter of, you get this, and so, that's the end of that. If we recognize a trend, and this is why a CACU is so important, because if we recognize a trend and there are real complaints about an issue, then we look at the issue, we invite the utility providers to come in, and we sit down and talk about what the are.
Yes, and you mentioned utility providers. In terms of this award, how do they become eligible to be a part of it? Because I think a lot has been said in the media about Flow and Digicel and JPS and NWC.
Yes.
Other cable providers, for example, can be a part of this?
No.
And why not?
Not at this time. You see, Digicel and Flow provide not just cable services, they provide a range of services, right? I know that at some point we may have to look at the spectrum for cable providers generally.
Yes.
But as it is now, Digital and Flow, because of the nature of the services that they provide, they are under our watch.
Isn't it discriminatory in some ways?
Well, we're making serious notes of all these issues as they come up. So don't be too surprised if, somewhere down the line, certain things are changed.
Okay.
Are changing
Yes.
to facilitate, a greater, everybody in the pool. Kind
Yes.
of a thing.
As you mentioned, Pool, how can Jamaican consumers participate in this context? And are there incentives for doing so?
Yes. So if you visit the CAC, oh Lord, you see, I'm talking foolishness now. The OUR website.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes. You will see there very easily, right there, the utility award competition, and you select the, just click and move right into getting your nominations going.
Any specific details can you give us on that website? What is it exactly? Do you have that at your fingertips now? Okay. Let's look for OUR website.
Yes.
Okay.
So visit the OUR's website.
Okay.
You will see the competition right there, right in your face, and you click and you make sure you vote for the utility provider of the year. The organizations have already received communication on the other award. Well, both awards really, but the other award now, where they have to make the nomination and provide all the supporting documents for that individual who they believe would have.
And incentives?
Made the mark. Well, they are getting some beautiful awards that I believe.
No,
anybody,
the voters, those who vote, an incentive to vote.
Incentive for the voter.
Yes.
No, you see why we're having this kind of discussion now?
Yeah.
Because when we have these kinds of discussion, it opens doors to many things.
Yes. Yes.
So we could consider perhaps incentive for the person who might have voted the most.
Yes.
That kind of a thing.
Right.
So we should look at providing an incentive for the voter.
Great.
Yes.
Deadline for voting.
Okay, so we're doing the calls for nominations now, and it will officially be opened on Monday, October 13th. Nomination closes on Wednesday, November 5 at 11:59 p.m. Right?
Mm-hmm.
The judge's decision we will make our decision. I'm a part of that judging panel. We make that decision by Thursday, November 20, and then the awards presentation will be on Wednesday, November 26th.
Mm-hmm. 2025.
Certainly.
All right. So it opens Monday 13, closes November 5, and the award is November 26, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what will the winner get?
They'll get there's a big replica, there's a big trophy, and the organization gets the replica of that trophy. The same thing with the other award. There's a big trophy, and the individual gets the replica of that trophy to take home for themselves.
Yeah. For consumers now who say, why this whole thing will not affect my bill every month, and apart from the incentive that I think you're going to work on, what's in it for me? Why should I even be a part of this whole exercise? I mean, this is for the utility companies to feel good about themselves.
Oh no, not just that. Because remember, it is the vote that really counts. And as far as I'm concerned, if persons don't vote for you, then clearly you're not in this race. You're not where you think you were at.
Oh, you're not
but
where you
I
should
do
be.
believe that Jamaicans tend to be honest with their gut feeling about issues, and so we're expecting that they will demonstrate that through their vote.
What will be done to those who get the lowest number of votes? And because that's an indicator of something. What will be done in that case?
Absolutely. Though, I can tell you, leadership plays a very, very important role in all that we do. And I would have advised those who would have seen the low votes begin to turn the searchlight inward. Begin to ask all the relevant questions. And when those answers come up, begin to address them so that you can be in a much better position next year. And this is why I believe competition does things to people. Yeah? We believe that it will cause persons to really look at it, to look at what do we put in place to resolve this issue or those issues, and how can we the turnaround time and so on and so forth. All of these issues. So once you get that feedback, you should be in a position to address those issues. And certainly, if we believe that something might have gone wrong, then the CACU would be more than willing to engage in a conversation that is towards resolving some of these issues.
Yeah, and the thing is, you say what could have gone wrong. Tell me if I'm correct or not. I'm not picking up that in the voting process there is the avenue for persons to sort of drill down on why they are voting for X as against Y, and the concerns they have with X vis-a-vis Y. I'm just getting that you vote for the utility company that you prefer, but in terms of the nitty-gritty on the ground issues that need to be addressed, how will that be? That information be filtered to you people?
Yes, believe me, we certainly will be asking all those questions, because I do believe that in the voting process you do have a space to say why you're voting for this utility company.
But not why you didn't vote for the other three.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's a concern, because maybe that is where the rubber meets the road,
Yes. But certainly those are, again, those kinds of discussions we really need to have to see how we can advance
very well
the welfare.
Very well. Thank you so very much for joining us, Richard Rowe, member of the Consumer Advisory Committee on Utilities. Have a safe, productive day, and all the best with the competition or the contest.
Thank you very much, and all the very best to you and the Love FM family.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to set the stage for a discussion of topical and controversial issues. For information on how to get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-9596-7. This, of course, has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer and our guests. I'm Dylan Toussaint, returning you to Love in the Morning with Jokal Dyer.